What's up, guys? This is it. The final set of videos for Phoenix Wright. The last part of the last trial. We gotta take down Damon Gant. Even though he's refusing to testify, he also is refusing to defend himself. So, see what we can do. We gotta get Lana to tell the truth. Still got that book that was given to us with the evidence law. I don't know where that's gonna come in. I don't know what else we'll find out here. Everything could change. I have no idea. It seems like we have all the information down about SL9, but who knows? Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Please, of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. See, Emma's over it. She doesn't even care that she killed a guy. You gotta tell the truth, too. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. Please, you're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gotta get Gant. He turns into lightning, so he's hard to catch. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. God damn it! I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. What is wrong with you? Emma's already been proven that she did it! God damn it. I guess he threatened, like, oh, I'll make sure she gets charged, and... Ugh. She's just too scared. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. What the fuck? That's dumb. That's obviously not true. Are you sure about this testimony? Like, why would you say it had nothing to do with Emma? Gant said in front of all of us that it had, like, oh, I'll make sure your sister's convicted. What is the point of lying about that? Saying that you did it for Emma doesn't implicate Gant. I don't know why she lied about that part. That means Chief Gant has nothing to do with... bull. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? She's not! She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. I want to know why she lied about the Emma part, but as always, we'll start from the beginning. Press! How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Skye. I somehow started to read the word judge in the sentence. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective, that's why. There's no truth to the blackmail. Let's press that one. I don't believe that. Think about it, Miss Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. That's true. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And? I don't believe you. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was the... See, why lie about that part, though? I guess because that just further implicates him, but he said it in front of all of us! He threatened her multiple times in front of everyone. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. What she did was just... So you are acknowledging the Emma part of it, then. Exactly. So you guys are finally acknowledging that shit. So what the fuck was up with Case 4, where you're like, Edgeworth, that's a murder, derp. But now you guys are acknowledging that it's not, so fucking what was the point of half of Case 4? Anyway, that's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana... So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. So she's saying that it wasn't to get Emma off the hook, it's because she was mad at Joe Dark for traumatizing Emma. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? 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 He was stabbed with the armor, though. Why was that in there? What? Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. What the fuck? Who's right? Is she lying, or have we been wrong about everything? Is she lying to defend Emma? And say that she didn't push him into the armor? But I mean, we already know that she did. And she's accepted that she did. Or have we been wrong? See, I don't know. I don't know if she's lying to protect her sister, or if we're wrong. I honestly don't know. Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade. So he did have that on him? I was questioning that before, like how did he have that on him when he was being interrogated, and that he wouldn't, but apparently he did. You guys don't do pat-downs and shit. I was lying on the floor a little distance away, so that was there. Okay. I just figured it was brought in later to fake this shit. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. I don't know how much of it is a lie, honestly. After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. Okay. Last sentence, I think? No? Oh, this is a new. I think that's a new sentence, maybe. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound? Why would you do that, though? Why would you want to break it off? Why wouldn't you just stab the knife in and leave it in there? That's what I'm saying. You, of all people, should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I'd ask for the sake of the others. I mean, weren't we talking about the knife? I mean, I know why. Well, actually, I don't. If she's claiming that it was the prosecutor's knife, why would she then need to switch it up to Joe Dark's knife just to further implicate Joe Dark? There's nobody else who would be implicated in that situation. The only reason you would need to change the knife is if it had been the armor that did it. So I'm going to say the knife. That's what we were talking about anyway. Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Skye fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Alright. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? I'm still so confused because they definitely said that Joe Dark turned himself in. I guarantee they said that, so I don't really get, like, the problem with any of the... Like, why did any of this have to happen? He came in and said, I killed 5 people. I mean, what else do you need? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. No. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. Why'd you break it? You buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. Okay, last statement. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you sure are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. There is that one statement that I pressed where it gave me the two options. I could ask the other one, but I think we kind of already established that, so maybe I have to look for things to present. I think this is the one where I had the options, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I mean, we kind of already established why she moved it. She just kind of talked about that when I pressed the last one. Sort of, but still. When there are two options that both seem like they could be good, and one doesn't get me all that many places, I do want to try the other one as well. It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. That actually is a good point. I should have thought of that. Why, if she's claiming Emma didn't do it and the armor wasn't involved, why would you need to move it? Please tell me your convoluted lie. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan? What? Alright. What? Pieces of the jar? So it did break then. I'm so confused about when this fucking jar broke. Because it fell over, it was still in one piece because Emma saw it, like the Blue Badger, but then it fell again and broke, or what? I don't know. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. Why? When you first found the body, the jar was already... So something else happened that caused it to shatter. So is that important? If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. I don't. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's... Because that's what I'm saying, because it fell over and you saw it laying on its side, not shattered. So when did it shatter? It must have been after that. When there was some other struggle. Likely involving Gant. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. I'm gonna present the jar. Hopefully Phoenix knows what to say. Yeah. Here you go. Miss Skye, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. There is that, too. I wasn't even thinking about that. Why? Why would he do that if Emma wasn't involved? I was kind of wondering, I'm still just wondering when the jar broke. I still don't understand. I kind of wanted you to bring that up. Is that relevant? Is that an oversight? Because, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Okay, we're bringing up when it was broken. Okay. I mean, I just feel like it was, you know, we could say that it wasn't broken because she saw it tipped over, not broken, but alright. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. This is true. Unless he's really good at puzzles. Order, order. Your Honor, it would appear. More information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. Don't you mean the Blue Badger? We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Get it? In the dark? Joe? Dark? Anyway, just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the... Get it? Piece together, because the jar is broken. Anyway. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Edgeworth coming in with those jokes, those unintentional puns, man. Good for you. Jar and message in blood, anyway. So we're talking about how he couldn't have written her name if it was already broken. So, like, yeah, I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So yeah, that just implies there would have been another struggle, no matter how we look at it, because he had to write it after the stabbing, because he was using his blood, but then there was another struggle that then made it break, and To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. But you didn't wipe it all away. I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. What does that have to do with anything? What the fuck? Anyway, she didn't think Dark was the real murderer. I think people just said like 3 completely unconnected sentences back to back. I'm confused. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. I'm lost. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let's just test to do the thing. It's just push the button. It's fine. We'll figure it out as it goes. It's one of those times where it's better for me to stop thinking about it and just play the game. So the jar was already broken. That didn't happen until case 5, because this case is so damn long. There's been several times where I've just had to stop trying to think about it. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Hey, fuck you. But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. Aw, shit, man. You hear that? That's a sick-ass burn, man. Holy shit. You're an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. Alright. If it was so dark, how'd you even know there was blood on it? So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. Guess that's why she didn't erase it all. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. It's not. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. It does? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I've actually been confused about that. What else could I have done in that situation? Like, I'm legitimately not understanding where she's coming from with any of this. And I don't think I'm supposed to, but I don't know. I only had a few moments. Yeah, but if you thought Dark, why would you wipe away blood? You thought he did it, there's blood there, blood is evidence. Why would you wipe it unless you were trying to get rid of the name Emma? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you need to do that? What? There wasn't enough time to do anything else. Nothing needed to be done. But how could... And you didn't get them all. One was in Gant's safe. So what the fuck are you trying to tell me? But we still haven't even proven that, because we can't prove that we got it from his safe. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Well, if she could see that there was blood on the pieces, she could see the pieces. But I don't get... whatever. Well, then how the fuck did you not see the name that was written on it? What are you, Angel Star? Where literally everything you say is dumb? Even I carry my bottle... Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. My god. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. Except you apparently didn't see the name that was written on it, so you're full of garbage. And you didn't get every last piece. We know that. I do anyway. I haven't proven it yet. And you didn't even wipe them clean. So nothing you're saying lines up. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. Well, the way you're talking, you don't have any reasons for any of your actions, and it doesn't make any sense. And I don't think anybody should be taking this seriously because you're full of hot air right now. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. Yeah, like everything she said. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. Good for you, man. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around.